make a move and the bunny gets it.
I said, put the bunny back in the box. Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
It's showtime.
Roar. Roar.
Colonel Ironsides here. 200 years I stood in the gap, fighting those who would harm my country. It was my honor, my sacred duty, so help me God. 9 times they took my life. 9 times I stood back up and made them pay. The freedom fighter and I could handle anything, but someone betrayed me. I was ambushed, made mortal, rendered powerless, and retired. They passed an amendment that made me a civilian before I left the hospital. For 50 years I watched my country change. Watched this work while erasing me from history. The day I quit my job, I powered up and discovered they lied about that too. I'll remind them of freedom. I'll remind them of duty. I'll remind them of their oaths and who they serve. I'll remind them while I'm shoving it down their throats.
Why doesn't the hero reveal himself and tell us your true name? You do have a name. My name is Gladiator. How dare you show your back to me? Slave, you remove your helmet and tell me your name. My name is Fun My Comic, and I represent all the campaigns you shadow banned and kicked off your website. Huh? Creators that just wanted to fund, that wanted to be left alone. And we will build a website that is going to bury you all. Oh crap.
Psychically, I'm very well endowed.
I want to know what you're thinking. There are some things you can't hide. I want to know what you're feeling. Tell me what's on your mind.
Hey there, welcome to the rabbit hole. The last What's Next. This has been the longest running show I've ever done. 50 episodes. Longest continuous run. The love streams lasted quite a bit longer, but I didn't really. I think I'm moved them around quite a bit. So this show's pretty consistently been on a Thursday night, and it's pretty much kept the theme all the way through. And let me do a retrospective right quick. So this is the first episode. This is the thumbnail that I primarily used as my template. This was made for me by a friend of mine, Todd, Redshift Comics. He's been on this channel before. Been a few years though. He's kind of he got busy and kind of like grew up and left me behind a little bit. But you know, he helps out from time to time. But this was his creation. Very useful for me over the time. First episode, Ashcan Marketing. I brought on a friend of mine who was putting out an Ashcan kind of like to I think it was Frost Comics. I'm pretty sure it was Frost Comics. Hoping he would come on, but evidently his kid got too rambunctious. But either way, we were talking about using Ashcans to market your comics. Is this a new marketing tool? Since then, my friend Arvid the Twit has put out Ashcan. Frost has an Ashcan that he's gave away for free. Several other people have tried this option and to whet people's appetite for the big product, and it's worked out. Dale A says, "I believe children are our future. Teach them well. Let them lead the way." All right, we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Right now, just doing a retrospective. Second was 3D Assets. I had my friend Shadowpunk on, and another gentleman who shall remain nameless, who kind of went off the deep end. So I don't want to draw his ire or attention. Should we expect quality? Now this was somebody who there was a comic that really kind of like really, man, it just disappointed me. The story, it was like a thumbnail story, but great art. I mean, incredible jaw-dropping art, but the story just, it was an afterthought. And yet people were like praising this comic to high heaven, and I was like, it bothered me. I was like, what shouldn't we expect quality product? You know, why are we pushing stuff that's not quality? You know, but that's what that came from. Nerd Unity, talking about the squabbling that was going on at the time. Fun My Comic, we had Bluestone on, and I had really bad like lag that day. Kills me. Hopefully he comes on again sometime. But just the what's going on with Fun My Comic update. Comics we should be talking about, but are not. That's a good show to go back and watch. But I was talking about a lot of these less pointed out comics, you know, that we really should be talking more about. Courage. This one, you know, it's talking about speaking your mind in a environment of toxic positivity where everybody expects you to just rubber stamp everything. Wisdom of the Crowd is talking about this concept Angel Studios uses to pick their movies. And it's about getting a consensus of a whole bunch of people gets you closer to the truth than just the opinions of a few. Which is why mainstream media is dying right now. I think the future is competing with manga. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're definitely going to talk about that in just a little bit. Citizen journalism. I was talking about the brand new move away from the mainstream to like online sources and smaller venues, smaller outlets like Benny Johnson and other people like that. Tucker Carlson's outfit, and people that are like James O'Keefe are doing incredible work right now. Call-in show. This was just a call-in show. We had a good time that day. Short form content. This was about Just about, I think Shadowpunk's 9-minute movie, talking about shorter, punctual, like smaller, you know, pop culture that could be assimilated easier. Consequences for cancelers. This was about the Ed Piscor controversy. Had a last Matt on, who's reported on it brilliantly. Talked about that. Alternative media. This was the day I was talking to Jared Chrisman about his movie that he used to. He did it's basically a long form music video series about an album. It was basically a movie with his album, with his group, Missouri. I can't remember. But really great guy. Sexy characters. Yeah, we're talking about sex appeal, how they're trying to take it out of everything, and how we need to bring it back. Fresh intellectual properties, talking about some of the really cool IPs we have around here that nobody talks about. New crowdfunding tools. We were talking about, Fund My Comic and some of the innovations that they're coming up with. Back to the Future, talking about how we got to get back to storytelling the way things were, and that's the way we're going to get to the future. Getting away from this modern idea of storytelling and going back to the original. Music hybrids. This was about Kill Them Dead. The music, the power metal album / comic book that Broken Compass Comics is putting out. I think it's really brilliant idea. Parallel history, talking about how what they're reporting is different from the reality that everybody else is living. And in the future, they're going to be looking back at these news reports and things like that. And it's going to read so different from where the history is. I thought I'd talk about that. Best Unsung Creators, the first one was Shadowpunk. Then went with Vonster. He came on. Really great guy. Magnificent Bastards. That's from the Broken Compass guys. My friend James Rock. Wolfsbane Comics. My friend Aaron Jordan. Raiden Radio. And Eudaimonia Comics. Really great guy. I'd love to have him on. He's a brilliant guy to talk to. Luke Stone and Hybrids, one of my favorite series. Nathan M. Rosario and Stump. New mainstream intellectual properties. Things that I think are going to become like the mainstream eventually. Dave Brink came on from Perfect 10. Then when I went for characters, talking about characters, my guy Ironsides was the first one. Heather Swain from the Cyber Frog series. Perfect 10, as before mentioned, Dave Brink. Eric Ninotowski, Best Unsung Creator. Great series. He's got Shadow Sentry. Really cool series. He came on. Michael Bancroft. He came on my show. Great guy. Hojo didn't come on my show because Hojo doesn't come on my show, evidently. Just saying. Not bitter. Anyway, Professor Murph, he came on and talked about War Party. I think the latest one just came out. Scary is Good. This is talking about, this was Skunk Artworks came on, and we talked about how bringing scary back to children's literature is something that we need to do to help children deal with the future or deal with the present, and how much it helped me to have scary children's stuff when I was growing up, when I had really scary stuff happen to me. Mad Ruth, the Best Unsung Creator, talking about Soul Tack. Great guy. He came on. John's Lone Box, Return of the Beard. Mr. John Bua from John's Lone Box. real good friend of mine. Talking about Patriarch and his heroic tales. Coming attractions, Kuri Uni, my friend, who has his comic is finally coming out this year. Finally, we finally gonna get to see this thing, and he's got a free Ashcan that he's giving away. Trump won. This is after the election. What's next? I had a good discussion with my friend Cruel but Byrab about that. The Mockingbird is dead. Mockingbird Media, the Mockingbird Project, CIA indoctrination in media is no longer working. So I had a discussion about what's next with that. Gen X, the sleeper has awakened. The generation that was forgotten has finally kind of taken its place and finally awoken and finally showing its character, finally showing some signs of life. Bringing satire back. This was my conversation with the people over at Flip City. And just a great conversation about comedy, how comedy's coming back because finally they're starting, basically that gloves off movement, the toxic positivity, being positive about everybody is starting to go away, and we're starting to get satire back. The Mutiny, that show, my friend came on and he just ranted for about 2 hours almost. He nonstop, Wyatt Eastman. But that show kind of got out of the boundaries, but he had a lot of good points to make. To 2025, I did a show what I predicted what was going to happen this year. No drama creators, talking about creators who just don't create drama. They just do their work, do their job. And why that's important, Christian pop culture. This was a couple weeks ago. And talking about the Christian worldview is making a comeback, what that means for current culture. Rural media, talking about how that's coming back. I did that last week, talking about, I think Wookie came on with that one. And future of indie comics, here we are. We are at this show. All right, I got a few people commenting over here. All right. Incorporate hobbies and put books where people will be. That's a good one. That's a good one. Want to be there, but left you a message in your DMs. Love to read if you can with my feelings about indie comics. Very optimistic. Glad you're part of my future, my friend. No problem, Frost. Hoy Bunny. Hey, Wookie, get your butt in here, man. That's me, no drama. The people that say that they're no drama are usually the biggest drama merchants. I'll just say that much. Without comedy, the ability to laugh at yourself is mentally important. Yeah, it is. It is. Let me see this DM here. Let me read this right quick from my friend Frost. Let me see. Kids are absolutely acting crazy. Wife's pulling her hair out, so I'm going to rain check. Thoughts you'd like to contribute. So you read this from my 2 cents on the future of indie comics. Okay, this is from Frost Comics, a brilliant guy, very smart guy, who does a lot, does an awful lot of conversations with people on both sides of the issue. Well, that's wrong. Oh, okay. All right. I'll take your word for it, Derek. All right. Hello to everyone listening. I wanted to be on the show tonight, but being a father of young children frequently means I don't get to make as many social media appearances as I'd like. All right. I'm so glad Bunny's talking about this topic, though, because despite everything, I'm really optimistic about the future of indie comics. All right. With Diamond in shambles, who's going to blame the big two, Diamond, the changing landscape of media? I certainly don't have the answers, but such daunting questions. But I do know that I've been reading more and more comics than ever, thanks to crowdfunding. True alternatives that find their way into my hands directly from creators I want to invest in. Everything from amateurs forging their way and finding new audience to experienced professionals who are doing something new can be found on Fund My Comic, Kickstarter, and Indiegogo. And while this can mean the quality of art and storytelling can vary widely, It also means that we, as consumers and not just creators, are now empowered more than ever to choose what we want to read and empower and be part of like never before. I love the online indie comic scene. Can't wait to see what 2025 brings for it. Hope to be part of it. Hope you have a great show, Bunny. And to everyone watching, check out my 5 out of 6 carat comic, Morningstar Chronicles 1, available for free at frostcomics.com. Have a great night, everyone. Okay. All right, that was pretty much my only hope for a guest. I was hoping Shadowpunk would get off his butt and come in, but he's evidently not going to surface for me, so no big deal. I don't know what Wookie's doing. Oh my God. Okay, let's see. What's the excuse? I'm indisposed at the moment, so unable to pop on. Thank you for that. For a good show, my friend. Indisposed. That means his wife's got him doing something. He is whipped. I'm just saying. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Okay. So evidently I'm going to be carrying this by myself. No big deal. I did do a poll earlier. Let me bring that up right quick. I probably should have had that brought up. Anyway, I can never find my way around this stupid app. Okay. Hold on. Where's it at? One second. Here we go. This is off my poll that I put on about 6 hours ago. So what do you think Indie Comics is going to do during the Trump years coming up? All right. The options were keep growing slowly, become irrelevant, take over comics, decline and disappear. Okay. Nobody said decline and disappear, thankfully. All right. 15% said take over comics. 10% said become irrelevant. Thank you very much, you dark souls. 75% said keep growing slowly. Okay. And that was a total of 20 votes. So thank you for participating, everybody that participated. 128 people saw that. And 20 participated. So anyway. All right. So that means that there's a lot of people that are cautiously. They think it's going to keep growing, but they just don't think it's going to grow very fast. And then there's a group of people who think it's just going to become irrelevant, and other people think it's going to take over comics. Me, I think I'm in the take over comics. Okay. All right. Follow my logic. If it can be said that I have logic. But with Diamond going out, there are new distribution networks that are going to have to rise up to take its place. Nature abhors a vacuum. So when there's an empty space, something will rush in to take it over. Now, the candidates out there, Lunar, which is actually an outfit out of Colorado, a very large comic book distributor. I've gotten stuff from them. Mile High Comics, I think, is the name of it. But they've got massive warehouses, and they distribute like comics on demand pretty much worldwide. Like I said, I've used them before. And then there's Penguin Random House, which is actually a big publishing house, with a pretty large reach. They're doing, I believe they're doing DC. I believe they're distributing DC. Lunar is distributing Marvel. Now, what's left over is like Image, and I think Image jumped to Lunar. I'm not sure. I didn't check. But what was left over is like Image, a few other the comic book producers, like Dark Horse, people like that. And then there's the green section of the catalog, when it comes to Diamond. And those people were just like completely screwed over by Diamond every chance Diamond got. So they're not crying to see Diamond go, but they're scrambling to figure out how to get their comics into shops. People like Alterna and Arrow. friends of mine. Arrow's a friend of the show, but you know, you see people like Iconic Comics who have like gone. They do crowdfund web shop hybrid, which is I honestly think that they've pretty much ahead of the game. Okay, I think that they pretty much saw the problems Diamond was having and the problems that the pure crowdfund model was having, and they got ahead of it, and they now don't crowdfund until they have product in hand, and they basically use crowdfunding to get their orders and to kind of get it to gauge interest. So how many they know how many to print, and so the books are available day one, and that's a really smart idea. And when they just started doing that, I was like, that's smart. If you got that much capital that you don't have to like fund the printing of it. You can just print it and then have it available for people when they crowdfund to send it right out. And I just thought that was a really smart idea. Right now, you've got several dinosaurs at work. One of the dinosaurs is the crowdfunding model that where people have gotten massive amounts of capital from, big fan bases, basically based off of their YouTube channels. But then, because they're more committed to the YouTube than they are to the product, you'll see 3-year waiting. You'll see 3-year waiting. Oh, hold on. Got somebody coming on. Hey.
Hey,
What
hello.
you doing up, young man?
Good evening. Oh, I'm not
Hey.
in my bed yet. I'm just letting the room upstairs heat up, and then I'm waiting my bed.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go.
So
I'll keep you warm till then.
I thought
Anyway.
I'd just pop in and say hello.
Well, that's why I left a link. Left a link. Welcome
Right,
to the show.
cool. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm just talking about the future of indie comics and with the crop coming in and everything.
I think it will eventually take over. I don't know how quickly though. So
okay,
that's kind of in between little points of your poll, I think. So
right. Hello, Wolf Blair. What's up, dude? Good to see you.
Hello there.
Hey. Well, I was just saying that I see right now. I was talking about the dinosaur of crowdfunding, where some people get a whole bunch of orders on the front, and then it's like 3 years before you see product. And these are people with plenty of resources that could put it out a lot faster than that. And I think that's caused people to be black-pilled and kind of walking away from the whole thing. And but then we've got other people who have gone the other way, where they've just immediately first day have shoved a whole bunch of product into the market that's subpar. That probably should have been worked on longer. And and just like, so both of them have massive capital coming in, but then both of them cause blackpilling on the back end. One because they don't get their product. Once it gets there, it's great, but it takes them so long that they kind of lose, lose their.
What exactly is blackpilling?
Blackpilling is being disappointed to the point of walking away from something, or being totally disheartened by something.
Right, that's me with Star Wars then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's precisely what I'm talking about.
There's quite a lot of that going around, I think, with a lot of things.
You are blackpilled from when it comes to Star Wars. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of it going about, I think.
All right, so we're caught up on the vernacular, blackpilling. Okay,
right.
All right. Anyway, okay. So, but you got one group that's blackpilled because they don't get their product right away, and it takes years and years to get their product. And they see these people like active all the time, and they're like, "Oh, why can't you be working on it? Why can't you get it out to me faster?" And then you got the other group, another kind of like who also gets massive orders on the front end, but then they shove out a subpar product to them like right away. And so basically it's like, yeah, you do get the product the next day or whatever, or that week, but it's like, well, you should have waited. You should have worked on this longer,
Right.
So,
Okay.
so and somewhere there's a happy medium.
Well, I got it straight away, but it's shite.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and it's for premium. You gave me a premium price product for this, and it's funny because this other group they basically put like a CGC grading on their. You could get a CGC graded book, which is like in the plastic or whatever sleeve or whatever, that you can't crack it open and look at it, but it's supposed to be CGC graded. But then your reader copy it's a crappy comic book, but it's CGC graded. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So anyway, so in other words, that's supposed to be like a superior product if you got CGC grading. So it's like, okay, you gave me, if you put a turd in acrylic, it's still a turd. Okay.
Yeah, I was waiting to say it. Yeah.
Yeah. Even if you package it and put a sticker on it that says it's a high grade turd,
Yeah.
So that's not working at all either. What's up, I like Ike? Hey, it's the whole time. There you go. And so those two approaches are kind of like not working for me. And I think in the long run, they're going to wind up hurting more than they're helping. And so, right. Well, so basically, there's another model that's kind of growing up. Okay. And that is making a good product, having it available before you crowdfund, and then ship it out to people after it's perfected, after it's good enough. Then you crowdfund, then you ship it out. But you have it on hand.
A good product?
A good product, yeah.
What the heck you been smoking? We wouldn't want that.
It happens. It happens. I have a stack over here of really good products. Okay, it exists. I swear that it exists. Like this right here. Good book. Good quality book. Okay. Good art. Well written, and it came to me at a really good period of time. So it's possible.
I'm sorry,
possible,
but I don't have any comic books right now, but I did get this the other day.
Oh, there you go. See?
I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched it yet. And I also got that as well.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I got that on digital. So
yeah, I haven't watched them yet, but
you haven't seen Godzilla -1 yet?
No.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to it.
You're gonna like that one. You're gonna like that one. Trophy turd, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, trophy turd. If we're gonna get served a turd, it's got to be a trophy turd.
Right. But some people forget crowdfunding helps create the book, so it's possible for some people, but not all. Right. And so that's where the crowdfunding is kind of used to be a really good option, but now people have like got their whole entire kind of like expectations out of whack. Okay.
Right.
You got people like me that maybe get 2 pages done out in a month. I've got my artists basically subsidize. They've got 3 kids now, 2 girls and a boy. And every time I talk to them, it's like they've got another one on the way or something. They're Brazilian. What can I say?
They're busy.
So they're busy producing product, but it's just not my product. So
they're definitely producing.
They're producing. They're definitely producing. As a matter of fact, after I get off here, I'm probably going to ask for an update on my next 2 pages.
Yeah. Where's my pages?
Where's my pages? Anyway, but so I'm a year over. I'm a year over already, and I was hoping to get more progress, but you know,
Right,
it is what it
right.
is. But you know, I have to pay out of my own pocket, you know, and
Yeah.
I can't touch this money that eventually has to go to shipping this thing, or getting it printed and get it shipped. And so you know, it's not real very possible for me to like spit out product like some people can do.
No,
Hold on a
that's true.
second. I'm going to go black and white and do all my work myself, save money. I hope to put it on webcomic site like Global Comics. Yeah. Okay. So
Very cool.
so that's another thing. You know, Global Comics is another option for us.
Okay.
But the bottom line is Diamond is probably not coming back. Diamond Distributors is probably not coming back. And it's basically, somebody pointed out, they say that they're doing Chapter 11, which means halt the creditors and like reorganize and streamline it and get it back
Right.
profitable. That's what Chapter 11 is supposed to be.
Yeah, I've
But
heard
what
the
they're
term.
doing-
Yeah.
Yeah. But what they're doing is selling it's a fire sale. They're selling shit off.
Oh, okay.
And so that's not Chapter 11. That's more like Chapter 7. And so people are like, okay, they're saying Chapter 11, and they filed Chapter 11, but this is looking more like Chapter 7. You know, they're just
7-Eleven.
you know 7-Eleven, right? And so basically, Diamond's probably not coming back. Okay, and that was the biggest distributor at one point. It was the only distributor at one point. Comic book shops are closing left and right. And so we need a new marketplace. We need a new way to get to the people.
Right.
And so what's going to happen in the next few months, I think, with the Trump presidency and finances bouncing back, people starting to invest in things again, people starting to throw money around a little bit, you know, that they were holding on to in case, you know, we had another presidency like the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Dear
I
God.
mean, I imagine that the stock market is on the rise again.
Stock market after the election went, you know, it's been up ever since. Funny how that happens. Funny how
It
that
is.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so what you got is this combination of an empty market, empty spot in the market, an empty part in the infrastructure that been vacated, and then you got all this optimism, and you got all these funds that are starting to enter into society. And so, what I think is going to happen is somebody's going to step into that gap. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't really have any inside information or anything. I have a friend of mine named Critical Blast, who does a very similar stuff to Diamond, except he goes from he's taking crowdfunding campaigns and he's distributing them to the people, you know, through his logistics. And he's talking about expanding. There's another group called just flew out of my head, but I know another group that's talking about expanding. And
Right.
there is what I think is going to happen. You know, it's just me speculating. I don't have inside information. I don't have any kind of like, you know, information that other people don't have. But what I think is going to happen is I think that we're going to start putting comics at places that we used to have them.
Okay.
You know, spinner racks. Okay. I think there's several organizations I know that are talking about putting spinner racks out and starting to put product in spinner racks.
Right.
And I think that what we're going to see is we're going to see something emerge the next few months out of necessity, as we're going to see a new distribution kind of like show up. Somebody's going to step into that gap. It's inevitable.
Oh, there always will be. There will always be someone to enter that
Right.
vacuum.
Well,
Always.
like I said on my show the other day, Diamond was doing a shitty job, a extraordinarily shitty job. One of the people, Gary from Nerdrotics, you've seen his videos.
I know him. Yeah.
Well, he used to own a comic book shop, and he said in 2003, he had to have a DOS equipped computer. They're already on Windows XP by 2003, okay? And he had to
Yeah.
have a DOS equipped computer for the software that he was being sent by Diamond in 2003. That's how far behind they were.
My goodness.
Pre-Windows.
DOS.
And-
I mean, I did college in 1994 after I left school. You know, I mean, we were still doing a bit of DOS back then.
Right,
Oh.
right. So in other words, they were about a decade behind on
Yeah.
their software, and that was 2003. And when people got their product, they got it like it was shoddy, it was poorly packed, and it just looked amateur. And you never could get anybody on the phone to get replacements, and
No.
you pretty much had to reorder the whole order if it came in screwed up.
Yeah.
And there's conversations about poor customer service. There's conversations about immature, unprofessional behavior, and so there's also an elitist part of it where smaller creators and smaller comic book shops or smaller comic book producers got shoved into this little corner of the catalog
Yeah.
and got bumped at the drop of a hat. And their concerns were never taken seriously or never even listened to. And so this was the organization that basically brought about its own demise.
Right.
They earned their current state.
Yeah.
And so whoever steps into that is got to be better than this. They got to be better. If they have any kind of modicum of professionalism, then they're going to be light years better than what Diamond was.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's two people distributing DC and the Marvel, Lunar and Penguin Random House. And so
Okay.
they might pick up a few of these people, like Image, people like
Is
that.
Dark Horse Comics still around?
Oh yeah. Oh,
they
Dark
still
Horse is
around?
really growing. Mark Miller, or Mark Millar, however you even pronounce it, actually bought controlling interest in Dark Horse, and he's
Right.
putting out his whole entire universe through Dark Horse.
I remember
Um,
did they do something with Star Wars for a while? If I remember.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think they did Dark Empire and stuff like that back in the day.
Yeah.
I've got that upstairs somewhere.
Right.
That's how I'm familiar with it. I'm not
Right.
I'm not a huge comic guy. I don't really know a lot.
Well,
obviously.
but what I think is going to happen is I think it's going to there's going to be a combining
Hmm.
where the mainstream is finally going to stop turning their nose up at the independent comics and start adopting some independent comic methods.
Right.
And
yeah.
and in so doing, I think that you're going to see some of these ex-pros that are in the independent space start doing work for the mainstream again. And I think that gap's going to close. And I what I expect to happen is the independent will become pretty much intertwined with the mainstream and become one big comic book industry.
Commingling.
I think that's where it's headed. Dark Horse Comics were good too. Yep.
Mhm.
Mark Miller is actually putting out his whole entire Millerverse at Dark Horse,
Right. Okay.
which is probably going to really be a good seller. So
I've
you
no
have-
idea what's involved with that.
Well, Hit Girl, Kick Ass.
Oh, that okay.
Wanted.
I've seen the
Wanted.
movies.
Yeah, The Boys, I think, is his.
No, I haven't seen that.
That might be Garth Ennis. The Boys is Garth Ennis. Never mind. But yeah, he's got what is the one where it's like secret agents, but everybody wears an umbrella and has glasses. I can't remember. It's a movie series anyway. But his Millerverse is going to like come. It's going to like be coming through Dark Horse. But what I think is going to happen is I think that we're going to see that space between. There was always like, if you're not good enough for the mainstream, then you have to do independent. And so there's a sneering kind of like disdain for independence.
Yeah.
It's going to go away because independents are making more money than the mainstream is now.
Yeah.
And with the broken distribution network, they're going to start looking for, okay, how is the independent people doing it without Diamond? Because independent comics couldn't get into Diamond. Diamond was like, ew, no, we're not going to distribute you guys. What are you talking
we wouldn't
about?
want that. Well, of course,
And,
the interesting thing is as well, when you're talking about the rise of independent comics, it's the same in other mediums as well.
Right. Well, manga has really been dominating the space, but I think that manga is actually going to I think it's reached its zenith. And I think
are you talking about manga comics or films?
Well, anime is the films. Manga is the comics. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
so I'm talking about the comics, okay? But the disposable nature of manga is kind of like, it's kind of like being where comics used to be disposable, and so it was like a low cost medium. But what's happening is that as the commodity, kind of like obsession of the Western comics that's absolutely destroyed Western comics is starting to go away, and they're starting to produce lower cost digest versions of Western comics that are not that expensive,
right?
And so they're starting to take the lesson from manga, and you're starting to see them take some of the space. But manga is the age of people who love manga is starting to they're starting to age out of it, and they're starting to look towards other things, and so I think manga is probably going to start losing some market share, and Western comics is starting to make some corrections and some and starting to get their head out of their ass, and and I don't know, the content is still I'm starting to see some changes in the content. The content's always been the problem. It's always been the elephant in the room nobody want to talk about. The content sucked, okay?
Yeah.
But what you're starting to see is with the money going away, they're starting to care about their content again. With the slush fund of money that was being poured into the pop culture it's like they could indulge in this whole DEI obsession, casting people rather than casting people's arbitrary characteristics rather than their skill. They could do that when they had money.
Yeah.
But now...
Sorry, I'm just thinking of a scenario. Hey, Willie! We're out of money! Oh, shit! We're going to have to make something good.
It's like okay, well, maybe we won't hire the lesbian binary person in a wheelchair this time. Maybe we'll hire somebody that actually has like 25 years of experience writing. and a good track record.
maybe. Might be a good idea. Yeah.
Maybe I'll hire that person instead. You know. But you're starting to see that. You're starting to see that.
Yeah. And
Making my
obviously-
breakfast for the AM: 4 egg omelet, spicy cheese, pico de gallo, corned bean salsa, and bacon will be lurking. All right.
We're talking about food.
Well,
and
thank you for making me hungry. Appreciate it.
It's 10 to 1 in the morning here. I'm hungry now. Thanks a lot. I'm gonna be
Appreciate
cutting my bed.
You've
Dreaming
been
of
ordering.
food.
You've been ordering out for a curry before too late. Anyway. So basically, what I think I think there's a big market correction coming, and I think that the mainstream's gonna start like hiring white males again. Maybe, especially white males that have 40, 50 years of comic book experience.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll give John Byrne a call. It's like, what are you doing, John? What are you doing these days?
Well, that's it. I mean, that's the Trump is hitting out against the DEI now, so you're bound to see some changes.
Well,
So-
I think it was coming on when the ESG money dried up, and they couldn't just justify, having the whole entire X line be gay, every single character being gay, at the trend, because you hired a bunch of trans activists, to write it. And so, when your whole entire fan base that used to be millions and millions and millions of dollars of sales says, I don't think I like X-Men anymore. What do? You bring back Chris Claremont and you do Wolverine and Kitty Pryde sequel.
Okay.
Which just got announced.
Oh, how about that?
Just got announced. So there is some proof. There is some background and justification for what my speculation.
Well.
So, I honestly think that this medium probably is going to enter into a period of growth, and I think independent comics is going to start, getting some of that, because rising tide lifts all ships, and Marvel and DC are the biggest, biggest ships.
Yeah.
And as they correct, and it looks like the MCU is starting to right itself a little bit.
I was waiting to say. I mean, the movies one would think would also take a turn in the right direction.
Well, if they can get through this, the junk that they, that's in the can. I mean, Ironheart.
I'll be honest. I'll share this. I'll share this. It's not embarrassing or nothing. It's just, I was having a conversation with a pal of mine just not long ago, and I was just saying, look, I'll admit, I miss Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I miss Star Wars, and it would be nice to see some great Marvel movies like the Avengers again. Great stuff. It would be good to see that.
Well, I think Thunderbolts is going to be a good movie.
Okay.
Captain America 4, probably not.
No.
I don't think there's any saving that. It's fundamentally flawed at the beginning of it.
I haven't watched any videos about
that
the new
Daredevil.
Captain America.
That's the Daredevil that's supposed to come out. I might actually buy a Disney Plus just to see it.
Okay. I haven't watched.
I'll cancel it right after, but I might buy it for a month.
Yeah. I haven't watched any of the news surrounding Daredevil or that, so I have no idea if it's going to be any good or.
Well, the commercial seems to. It seems like they made a Netflix Daredevil series.
Right.
It looks very much like the Netflix Daredevil.
I saw some of that.
Yeah.
When I had a PlayStation 3 and I was able to somehow see those.
Yeah. Somehow you got acquired it.
So
You know.
so that was a good show, by the way. That was a really good one. Yeah. That was really good.
Still I have it on this hard drive here. Yeah.
Nice, very nice. Those things are. It's amazing what you find on those things, isn't it? You know, these
Yeah, it's amazing.
shows
It's
and
amazing.
things just turn up
Yeah.
on there. You know.
Occasionally you just stumble upon things.
Oh, look,
Anyway.
a new show.
Well, but I think especially with I think basically people are starting to wake up from
Yeah.
the stupidity that we've been dealing with for the last almost decade.
It's
Uh,
yeah, it's about a decade.
it's
Yeah.
the thing about it is when you have the cultural power and you have a funding source and you have control of media, then you can be a complete total asshole to your customer base.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, heck, you see that.
You
you see
can
that
tell
in
'em-
gaming.
Yeah.
You see that in
Yeah.
gaming at the moment. That's prevalent in gaming quite a lot now.
Yep. You can tell them where to go, and if they don't like it, up yours. We're going to
Yeah,
make what we're going to make.
If you don't like it, don't buy it.
Exactly.
like,
But what
just like, okay.
happens is, but what happens if you lose cultural power? You lose that funding source, and you also the media becomes have made themselves so irrelevant that nobody listens to them anymore.
No, they don't.
They just
That's-
mock them. Then, guess what you got to do? Would you take me back? Yeah, I apologize.
Neil. Neil. Kiss my shoes.
Yes. Yes. So I'm just saying that I think the worm is turned in a lot of ways, and we're going to start seeing. But a lot of us, hopefully the majority of us, are no longer normies. A lot of us kind of know what they took from us. It knows the attitude that they had when they. It remembers the attitude they had when they were on top.
Arrogance. Absolute
the arrogance, the distaste and disgust, open hatred.
Well, I
that
mean,
we
what is
saw.
it? What is it they say? That pride and arrogance leads to a fall. So
Yeah, that's in the
they're
Bible somewhere, I think.
falling.
Yeah, they're
It is in the
falling.
Bible. Yeah. Oddly.
Well, the bottom line is they're going to start coming back, and they're going to start apologizing, and they're going to give us what we want again.
Yeah.
And they're going to try to kind of like give us an amnesia about what they've done to us the last decade.
The thing is, and I think we've probably discussed this, and getting back. I don't want to get back to Star Wars for too much, but the thing is, some of the fans and former customers might not come back.
Yeah,
they just might not. I can't say for certain whether I will.
Well, what happens? What happens is independent media, smaller media sources, people who basically had to grow up without any support, without the funding, without the rub and tug from the mainstream media. That's basically had to make their own way. They're stronger. They're lighter on their feet. They know how to get things done with less marketing and less money.
Yeah.
And they're better written, and they're better acted. That's
the thing, isn't it? I mean, you look at even some of the more independent studios that are separating from Hollywood now. Like Kevin Sorbo and people like him have got their own ones, so they're doing their own thing. They don't need to be in Hollywood now.
Well, what? Well, basically, it's like the same thing. Okay, you got two kids, and one you don't like, and one you absolutely love. Well, say your mother, you're really sucky mother. Okay, you really suck as a mother, but this one over here, you give them everything they want. You coddle them. You tell them that they're wonderful every stinking day. You give them you cook them whatever they want, and basically you make their life as soft and fluffy and as completely neutered as possible. So they'll have this lovely life that they just float through the land on. Okay, with absolutely no worries or no cares. Okay,
Sounds great.
but
I
then
love
you
one of
have this
them.
other kid over here who you don't like, and when they ask for something to eat, you're like, cook it yourself.
Right.
And you give them no support, you give them no financing, and they're basically Cinderella.
Right,
You're all about you better do your chores, you better show responsibility, or you're on your own. And then at the end of the day, you put those two kids against each other in a contest.
Right.
The question is, who do you think's going to win at the end of the day?
The one that was on his own. Because he had to
The one
fend
that
for
was on
himself.
his own. And right now, you've got a hungry, lean, focused, pretty much pissed off group of people
Right.
who are making content like they love, like they used to get all the time, that they remember, that they were there for. And then you got this group over here that's been coddled, loved on, and told that they're awesome, toxic positivity, never given any kind of criticism whatsoever. And everything they did was pretty much refrigerator magnet material, okay?
Right.
And that group is putting stuff out on the market, and people are going like, this sucks. And then that's the first negative opinion they've ever gotten. So what are they doing? They make music videos where they're pissing on all the fans.
Yeah.
I don't want to listen to you. I don't have to listen to you. And then you got this other group of people that are putting out stuff that's lean, mean, and awesome, like Godzilla -1.
Right.
And basically, they weren't given the funding. They had to do everything themselves. Even the director had to work on the visual design and everything like that. And they put this movie out, and it's beautiful. It's well written, has a great story. The Godzilla is terrifying,
Cool.
and the practical effects is just jaw dropping. And so they get a visual effects Oscar, basically. They should have got way more than that. They should have swept the Oscars, to be honest. But thing about it is, though, you hold these things side by side, and you got like this bloated, out of touch thing over here made by a whole bunch of soft people who were told they're wonderful their whole entire life. And then you got this thing over here where made by hungry, angry, focused people who want to make content that they love, and that pretty much everybody else loves too.
Yeah. Gee, imagine that.
Who do you? What you're going to get is you're going to get a diminishment of this, diminishment of power, diminishment of reach, diminishment of cultural authority and cultural power. And this group is just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. That eventually, that's what we're seeing right now. We're going to
And
see
all the while it's happening, they're going to be going, but
this ain't supposed to happen.
no.
Breakfast is going to be delicious. Well, thank you for sharing, Ike, asshole.
Well, it is morning,
anyway.
I guess, no?
I'm just saying that the hungry, angry, focused people are about to get their day.
Right.
And the soft people are about to cry on social media, curl into a ball, and call their mommy and ask for their binky. Where's their binky? And they're just gonna go away because it's just too hard. And people are too mean.
Yeah, they'll just fade into irrelevance. It's the same with all these like activist writers that they've got in the film studios now. They'll just disappear.
And it's just inevitable.
Oh yeah,
this happens every few generations, and it happened a few generations back when the baby boomers, the hippie generation, took over culture.
Oh, okay.
They were angry. They were focused. They were they were aggressive, and they took over the culture. And now they're a bloated former shell of itself. They're no longer sexy Elvis. They're karate chop Vegas Elvis. With double chins, and they're about to die on the toilet. Okay, that's the way of the world. And okay, all right. One last comment. Maybe I won't tell you. My neighbor made me stuffed bell pepper for lunch, and she's Hispanic. There will be spice. All right. Maybe he won't tell us. He won't
tell us.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for not telling us, Ike. Anyway.
Yeah. I hope it agrees with your stomach on the way out and all that. Yeah.
Yep. There you go. All right. So that's been the last What's Next. I basically started this series because I wanted to comment on trends I saw coming. And I think I called a lot of the stuff that's happening right now if you go back and watch. And I love this show, but I think it's reached the end of its time. It's reached the end of its relevancy as things are about to, everything I called, been predicting is about to come true. And right at this point, all I'll be doing is just saying, told you so. And so you're so welcome. Yeah, okay. Well, thank you, Ike. Thank you, Ike. Anyway, so rather than continue this past that point and become a bloated Elvis of itself, I'm planning on changing some gears. And starting next week, I'm going to unveil a show called Character Autopsy, where I take characters from all across pop fiction, all across the media, and basically focus on one character for the whole entire show. And if it's a good character or if it's a bad character. If it's a bad character, how do I fix it? How do you fix this character? And then at the end of the show, we'll just shut the door. We'll just, put the body back in and shut the door after we dissected it. And just put a ribbon on it. And that will be evergreen content. So I may do a Darth Vader. I could do Captain America. I could do Sherlock Holmes. I could do characters from all fiction, all medias. I could do a Walter White from Breaking Bad. I could do an autopsy of him, or something like that. But it's pretty much just we're just going to focus on what makes a character, what makes them good, what makes them bad, and if it's a bad character, how do you fix it?
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, so that's going to start next week, and I'll let you pick what's the first character I'm going to do.
That's a very good question.
I'll start with Rorschach.
What?
There you go. I'll just start with Rorschach. Yeah, I'll start with Rorschach.
I don't know who that is.
He's come up a lot lately.
Yeah.
You don't know who that is?
Wait, is that from Watchmen?
Oh, you sweet summer child. I need to introduce you.
Watchmen or something?
Watchmen, yeah.
I've not seen it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that Jackie Earle Haley that played that one?
Yeah, but the comic book character is way better than the movie, but the movie's good. The movies were good. That's going to be next week. I'm going to start with Rorschach. And so next week, the new series is going to start. character Autopsy. So
Cool.
come on back. Hopefully we'll have but sister has a hoard of comic books from 70s and 90s. I wonder what she's going to do with them. Make sure you get a hold of them, man. Could be
Keep 'em.
someone.
Yeah,
Sounds
get a hold
awesome.
of
I'll
'em.
be in the chat. All right, Phil Bow. Good to see you, man. Phil Bow is going to be one of the people that's probably going to take Diamond's place. He's got some plans.
All right.
So, anyway,
Cool.
that's been Coop for Telepathic Bunny Comics. That's Halios from What's Next. And see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Don't forget Cryptids and Conspiracy Saturday night at 7 o'clock, where
What we're
we
talking
are
about?
going to talk about the Shroud of Turin controversy.
That's right. Ooh, that's going to be juicy.
That's going to be very juicy.
Yeah.
But that's going to be Saturday night at 7 o'clock, Cryptids and Conspiracies. Mr. Cruel will be with us, you know, from deepest, darkest Scotland in the middle of the damn night. And
Yeah.
okay. All right. Anyways, that's been Cooper Telepathic Bunny Comics. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye, everyone.
everybody. Yeah. And
Thank you.